$5,000. That's what you're working with right now. And guys, I'm gonna have to be honest with y'all in this video, man. Buying a car for under $5,000 in 2026 is not gonna be an easy task. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but when you're buying within this range, you actually have to know what you're doing, because like at this price point, one bad decision and you're just not gonna be driving home. You're gonna have to get a tow truck. So today in this video, I'm gonna break down the best 6 used cars that I would recommend you buy that you can actually find under $5,000 right now. And these are not theoretical cars. These are not cars that only exist in one state across the country. These are cars that you can find, cars that are going to run, and cars that are not going to drain your bank account the second you buy from somebody and drive out their driveway. That being said, guys, welcome back to Zigiwik, where we do these POVs talking about cars, money, and a little bit of life, but mainly just the cars, y'all. And if y'all haven't seen my previous video of best used cars under $10,000 that I dropped a couple weeks ago, make sure y'all go watch that too, man, because this is basically the harder version of that video. And that's simply because $5,000 changes everything. The cars in this video are going to be older, the miles are going to be higher, and the margin for error is basically out the window with this budget. So you need to know exactly what you're looking for, and I'm going to help you get right to that point, guys. So before I get into a list, here's what I'm actually going to look for at this price. This is what you need to be keeping an eye out for. The first thing is that the engine and the transmission are actually solid. They're actually proven. Like, I don't want to hear no, it's usually fine. I know this one person with this car and it actually ran great. No, I need you to be able to go on Marketplace and find me multiple different listings with the same car that have over 200,000 miles. You need examples that this car is proven to get up into that mileage range. And the second thing you need to be looking for is this car needs to have cheap parts, and it needs to have parts that you can find anywhere. And guys, you need to know this, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man, this is not really optional. You know what I mean? The question is whether this fix is gonna cost you $200 or $2,000. Like, it's not a matter of if you're gonna have to fix it. Within this range, more than likely you're gonna have to probably do some work. And I know there's a lot of people that don't want to do that work, but guys, within this range, something is bound to break. And if you're buying a car that's old, you need to buy a car that has parts easily accessible and they're cheap. That's the whole point of buying a cheap used car. And for the third, it needs to be something you can actually find. Like, I'm not gonna put something on this list that you're gonna have to look for 3 months and go across the country and fly out just to get a decent price. These are cars that you can go on Marketplace and you're gonna find them wherever you are. So let's get right into this list, y'all. And I mean, to start out in the best way possible, you simply cannot kill this car. And guys, which car am I talking about? Y'all take a guess right now. Which car am I talking about? Obviously, I'm talking about the 2001 to 2010 Honda Civic range. Obviously, you want to narrow it down to probably like 2001 to 2007 to get within that $5,000 budget. These are some of the most indestructible things you can find for $5,000 or less in 2026. I'm telling y'all, these engines are going to be sitting around 180,000 miles, or probably a little more than that, and that is just getting started. For example, I also owned a 2010 Honda Civic, and man, that thing was a tank. No problems at all. All I did was oil changes. These Civics are just gems. They're the best starter cars you can possibly think of, and they're so affordable, so easy to fix, so easy to work on, and the parts are dirt cheap, guys. And the best thing about these cars is that they're everywhere. Anywhere you look, you can find a Civic at this price point in almost any state, any city, guys. Like I already said, the parts are so cheap. If something goes wrong, there are so many Civics on the road that literally every mechanic has to have work on at least one Civic in their lifetime. So you're never gonna be in that situation where it's like, I don't know this car, I'm not that familiar. Everybody knows a Civic and how to work on it. This is the car you want to be in, guys. But the things you need to watch for is obviously this is going to be rust, especially if you live in the rust belt. You need to check them wheel wells, you need to check the frame rails, and also you need to look at the maintenance history, guys. Because although these things are indestructible, a Civic with records is going to be worth more than a Civic without. But honestly, guys, even a neglected Civic is going to be recoverable. That's how reliable these engines are. As long as the engine and the transmission is solid and the rust isn't too crazy and you get a good enough price, just take it. It's a Civic. It's going to run. I don't know how else to say it, y'all. And guys, to dive into the second car, this is not the most exciting car in the room. It's not going to make you feel like a car enthusiast. enthusiast, like you got a sports car, but I'm telling you one thing this car does right, y'all. The engine in this car is just like the Civic. It's just relentless. It doesn't give up. It doesn't care. Hot, cold, highway, city, maintain, not maintain. This car is gonna run anyway. And the car I'm talking about is a Toyota Corolla from a range of 2003 to 2008. And just like the Civic, the parts are cheap, and every mechanic on the world has worked on a Corolla. Like the Corolla's whole identity is that it has no weakness. Like, y'all get what I'm saying right here? Like, you can't point at it and say this thing right here is leaving people stranded on the side of the highway. That simply is not how a Corolla works. At this price, you're gonna want to look from 2003 to 2008, 150 to 200,000 miles, somewhere within there, guys. But these cars will easily go past 250,000 miles as long as it was properly maintained and you continue to properly maintain it. That's just how Corollas are. And just like with the Civic, some things you need to watch out for if you're gonna buy this car. You need to look out for oil consumption on the higher mileage cars, guys, because some of the engines in these cars are known to burn a lot of oil after like 150 to 160,000 miles. So make sure you check the oil when you test drive it, and you're gonna want to look for smoke on the cold start. That's an easy way to tell if it's burning oil. But like I said, yo, outside of that, this car is gonna be about as safe as you're gonna get. The Civic and the Corolla, these are just gems. For number 3, we're gonna have to go with the big brother, and the big brother is gonna be the Honda Accord from 2003 to 2007. The reason I say a big brother is this car is basically the same DNA as a Civic. This car has a K24 engine in it, which is actually the same engine as my TSX, but obviously a different configuration. This one has real VTEC, that one doesn't have VTEC. There are some differences, but overall, compared to the Civic, you're gonna get a bigger car with more room, more comfort, that's gonna come with the same reliability. And at $5,000, you can find these 4-door sedans in pretty decent shape because these are so common. Like, just like the Civic, these are just everywhere. You drive, literally the day you're watching this video, go outside and car wash, and I can just guarantee you're gonna see at least 3 Accords drive by you. And because they're so mass produced and they're everywhere, the prices tend to stay reasonable. If you're looking at the V6 Accord, that's gonna be a whole different story. It's gonna be a little pricier. If you get the automatic, sometimes people say the transmissions have issues, especially if you're looking at this type of low budget price tag. You probably want to stay away from that, man. But if you get the 4-cylinder, the engine is gonna be solid. Things you want to look for is that time and belt service history. Now, this is a big one. If it's overdue or you don't know, make sure you budget a couple $100 and just get it done before it goes out on you and you end up with a car that is just a hunk of junk. This is the main thing I say when I'm in these videos. The worst thing you want to do is buy a car and get it and have the car parked because it's not running. Do your preventative maintenance. Also, you're gonna want to look for some oil leaks around the valve cover gasket. This is gonna be a common fix. It's not no biggie, but you always want to go into a car dealer or a car buying situation with the best possible knowledge about the car you're buying. Don't be surprised. Look for the oil leakage and all these things before you actually drop the cash. And car number 4, I'm gonna call this one the sleeper because nobody really talks about this car at this price point, and I don't really understand why, but this is gonna be the Mazda 3 from 2004 to 2006. And the reason I brought up this car because the 2.0 or the 2.3 engine in these cars are actually pretty solid. Mazda built this car to be, you know what I mean, quote unquote, fun to drive, but you know, it has a little weight to it. The steering feels good. It doesn't drive like just a boring car. And because it doesn't have that Honda or Toyota tax on it, you can find these for, you know what I mean, a good price. And outside of the Civic and the Accord or the Civic and the Corolla, that's gonna be the whole play when it comes to this $5,000 budget. You're gonna want to look at cars that have the same reliability as a Civic or a Corolla, but something that's not Honda, so you kind of avoid that Honda tax, that Toyota tax, unless you're gonna buy a Civic or a Corolla, because obviously those are gonna be the big two when it comes to reliability and just a safe bet for under $5,000. You need to kind of look out to other brands and see what those other brands have to offer. And I think Mazda really checked off a lot of good boxes with this Mazda 3. But if you are considering some things I will look out for is the same thing again, the rust around the rear wheel arches. You know what I mean? These are a known spot for rust to form. So just make sure you do a full inspection of the underneath of that car before you commit. And honestly, other than that, I mean, this car is a pretty good gem that's been kept on the low. And for the fifth car, we're gonna give the Corolla the nickname of the straight A student. And guys, the Camry is gonna be the one who graduated and got the job. This Toyota Camry, the 4-cylinder from 2002 to 2006, this car is just amazing. This is a long haul car. This is the upgrade from a Corolla. It's big, it's comfortable, it's smooth on the highway, and the engine in it is just as reliable, y'all. Like 150,000 miles on a Camry with good maintenance records is basically a brand new car. Like, I'm not even, I don't know. I wish these companies paid me to just advertise their cars like this, but that is the reality of owning a Camry. Like, these can go to 250,000 miles if you take care of it with ease. Like, that is just the norm. And the best part is because Camrys are everywhere, and just like every other car I mentioned, the parts are cheap, mechanics know them, and you'll never struggle to find one regardless of where in America, or I guess wherever the world you are. I feel like Camrys are literally everywhere in the world. I don't know, let me know if there's somebody outside of the States that's watching this video. Let me know if y'all have Camrys everywhere just like how we have in the States, because literally I go outside right now, I'm gonna see a Camry parked on the street. Some things you gotta watch for is the cooling system, guys. The hoses and the belts, you know what I mean? A 20-plus-year-old car and things like these, like, it starts to show their age. You can't really avoid it. So be extra thorough on the inspection, you know what I mean? Just because of that age. But if everything checks out, lock it in. You will not regret it. The last car is kind of a dynamic duo, and these, I'm gonna say this is the disguise. These are the cars that are kept on the low that people don't really know about, and obviously one of them is questionable, but these two cars are gonna be the Pontiac Vibe and the Toyota Matrix from 2003 to 2008. Because this is what it is, y'all. The Toyota Corolla underneath, the same engine, same platform, same reliability, but it's got a Pontiac badge or a Matrix badge on it. And because of that, people don't know about it, people sleep on it. And when people sleep on a car, the prices are low, which means that you get a deal out of Toyota Corolla reliability at a price that is below what a Corolla costs. Y'all see that? I'm just literally putting you guys onto game. I'm such a cool guy. Everybody go subscribe to Zigiwik right now because of these gems, y'all. And I hope a lot of people stay to the end, because that's the whole point of these $5,000, these budget videos, is finding a gem that's gonna give you that reliability, guys. For those who don't know, the Pontiac Vibe is just a rebadged Toyota Matrix. Just like how you have the Subaru BRZ and then the FRS and the GR86, whatever, they're all the same car, just rebadged. This is the same thing, guys. The Vibe in particular, it's underpriced right now because most people under 30 don't know what it is. Like, they see a Pontiac and they think American reliability, they think it's Ford, Chevy, and that's not usually a compliment. But this car does not share anything with the traditional American car. This is literally a Toyota Corolla that they rebadged, a Corolla in a costume. If you find one of these in good shape, you do your inspection, you're probably gonna be paying $1,500 to $2,000 less than what you pay for a Corolla. And guys, that's gonna be the list, man. I gave y'all 6 cars. Well, it was low-key 7 because, you know, the Pontiac Vibe and the Matrix, but obviously they're both the same car, just rebadged. Whichever one you find in a good condition, you lock it in. But I gave y'all 7 cars that's actually worth $5,000 to find in 2026. Just make sure you get that inspection done before you buy anything. And every of these used car videos, I live by it, I die by it. Make sure you get that done, guys. And just to close out this video, if you made it this far, thank you guys for tapping along. Make sure y'all buy TSX and travel. Good luck on your car search. And I mean, that's pretty much it, y'all. I'm gonna catch you in the next video. Peace.